Hi everyone, and welcome back to Noona's Noonchi, where I do a deep dive into some of your favorite K-dramas from a mental health perspective. In honor of Black History Month, I want to feature 3 wonderful Black American women that I have had the privilege of getting to know, and they talk about why they love K-dramas and really make these rich, poignant, emotional connections to their own experiences, highlighting what I call the intersectionality. So intersectionality in this case referring to the overlapping identities such as cultural identity, social identity, gender identity, racial identity, and their experiences. Black America and Asian America, the intersectionality, showing the powerful intersections of our cultural. And here's what they have to say. Let's start first with Tam Luck, CEO of Women with Vision International and CEO and founder of Deluxe Life. I got to interview her, with her husband. Again, you remember a couple weeks ago I did special episodes on watching K-dramas as a couple to enhance your couple relationship. Well, she got her husband into K-dramas, more on that in a second. Tam talks about the immigrant story and how it resonates with her. Take a look.
My parents had that same almost immigrant drive. And I think that is part of it. Why I relate so much to K-dramas and immigrants and people who come here with nothing, because my parents literally were doing the same thing. They had the same drive and the same outlook on life and the same never give up kind of attitude and the same thing they wanted to teach us to do as well.
That is an example of the intersection that she's showing with her own upbringing and what she sees as immigrant themes in Korean dramas. Now here's what Kimberly Karoma, a former colleague of mine, I so adore her. She makes such a rich parallel between Black and white America and rich and poor Korean culture. Take a look at what she says.
No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, you gotta kill yourself almost to earn some kind of respect in the Korean culture if you don't come from a good family, and people are going to always point that out about you. Oh, this isn't this, you're not wearing this, or I heard your family this, and the third. I think I relate to that because as a Black American, there's always this, you're here and white America's here. So you always have that gap that you are trying to make up through hard work, almost at the point of killing yourself. And I can speak personally to that because I have been hospitalized for exhaustion. Like the emergency room doctor would not let me leave until I took a nap. And that was like my prescription. But I was also working 3 jobs and trying to go to school and being a single mom, trying to get a life for my family like anybody else. But it just it's not going to come to me. It's not going to look on me like it looks on someone else, on my white counterpart. Like on me, it's just like, oh, well, she's a single Black mom or whatever, And look at all I have to do to earn some kind of respect. And I think that's made me over ambitious and an overachiever in my life, sometimes to my detriment. So it's like when I look at some of the people and they're working hard to rise above their family name or whatever it is, I can really relate to that because that's my normal life. And so that's the parallel for me. So whenever I see they're working and studying and up all through the night, I'm just like, I get it. That's been my whole life. That's my life now.
Because I adore Kim so much, I just got so engrossed with the emotionality of what she was sharing, really resonating with what she saw in Korean dramas of that angst, right? Always working hard, but never feeling good enough, always having to prove yourself. Asian Americans talk about that all the time. Not feeling like they can measure up to their parents' expectations. Doesn't matter how old you are, or even feeling like you're constantly a disappointment. And Kim alluding to that and it really resonating with her as a Black American, touched me so much. And that again shows the powerful intersectionality of our cultures and how we can really make these connections through watching K-dramas. Let's hear from Kim's daughter, Kara Terry, sophomore at Penn State, who just loves K-dramas so much and K-pop. I love what she shares about mental health and therapy. Take a listen.
Therapy is not a thing in the Black community because I think we rely on God so much. Religion is Christianity is a big thing in the Black community. It's like, who needs therapy when I got Jesus? You can pray that out. You can pray that away. For that, they sing this song heavy. Prayer still works. That's a whole song. Prayer still works. So you gonna pray it out. You gonna pray what's ever happening. Therapy's like, we don't need that. We don't need that. You're too strong for that. And I think that tough exterior about being Black, especially, you gotta be Black, you have to be strong all the time, especially as a woman. Being a Black woman, you gotta be strong all the time.
Right? I was cracking up when she said that therapy ain't a thing in the Black culture. I mean, right? In the Asian American culture, talking about therapy is like, whoa. Now, we are moving in the right direction. But so many young adults, young professionals that I speak with struggle with talking about mental health, and let alone wanting to go to therapy to their parents. In fact, that is actually the most common question that I tend to get. How do I talk to my parents about going to therapy? How do I talk to my parents about my mental health? Wow, Kara, thanks for making that connection. I, of course, want to highlight Tam Luck's husband and what he says, because he was part of the interview. And listen, of course, as I talked about before, it being a shared activity together to enhance your couple relationship, watching K-dramas, well, that was exactly the case for Tam and her husband, Khan. Here's what he has to say about how K-dramas grew on him.
I've been watching it. To me, it's become a thing that we just do together. I can't tell you I love them, but if I have to watch one, at least let me watch a genre that I like. So it's more bearable. And I've actually, come to like the Korean style of writing, and it's very unique. It's very twisty, so you never know what's going to happen. And I really think the production value is just so much higher.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned the word duality, right? That means two elements, two contrasting elements happening, specifically two sides of coin. So good and evil, peace and war, Black and white, Asian American, Korean American, Black America, Asian America. So I want to also bring that word to your attention, because I also see that coming to play here, and I just want to highlight that in this episode. Let's go back to Kara and see what else she has to say about the connection she makes in K-dramas and why she really resonates with the storylines.
Most of the K-dramas that I watch specifically have had a lot of female leads that have pushed against obstacles of being a female or being from a certain type of family. And I think that is what, especially in the females in my family, like my mom and my grandma pushed her whole life for the life that she has now. And my mom has too, to push to help me. And I just personally like how they specifically show a female that is doing all this. She's using her knowledge. She even though there may be a male love interest in it, she doesn't really need him. It's still about her and how she gets through it on her own, or makes the sacrifice or makes the decision to do this. And I think in my culture, in Black culture, as females, we always have that, we got to keep pushing. We can't, even though my feelings are hurt, I still got to go to school. I think that holding on to that type of strength it shows resilience and it shows faith. And I just really like that. And I think that's what I really resonate with in K-dramas.
Now, Tam also has a similar connection watching K-dramas, specifically talking about female leads relating to her own experience.
Strong Asian male. I love looking at that. And it goes beyond Asian male. It goes to strong male. Like, I do like seeing that. I also like that Asian culture or Korean culture represents strong females too. That is very clear, right? And how that partnership works with strong male. And like, seems to be no competition with a strong female with a strong male, and they have no problem with it. And here I am, a strong woman with a strong male, and there's no problem, right? So I think I connect to that too.
I thought it was unique hearing Tam's perspective about seeing strong males. Isn't that interesting? Because most of the time we tend to hear the not so good parts about seeing the strong males, but she pointed that out. By the way, she's seen K-dramas for years. Thanks for pointing that out, Tam. I really appreciate that. That's a different look at things. This is just a snippet of what I wanted to show in honor of Black History Month, and I hope to do more of it, highlight folks around the world, why they love K-dramas, make these mental health connections, but also connections globally of our experiences, showcasing the intersectionality of our experiences and identities. Isn't that amazing? Through our love of K-dramas. Thanks for watching, folks. Please don't forget to subscribe to Noona's Noonchi, and we'll look out for episodes each week on Wednesdays and or Fridays.